Hello everyone, Crusader Kings 3. Let's continue the evaluation of a tutorial provided by Crusader Kings 3, and this time this is, advanced tutorial, right? Okay, but before we start, there is a quote I'm supposed to provide. I think that's gonna be the third episode, or the fourth episode. Wait a second. I have 1, 2, 3 episodes on my YouTube channel already listed. Okay, so that's the fourth quote. So, the fourth quote is: I want to fight a champ. If you lose, you've lost to the champ and it's no disgrace. If you win, you are the new champ. George S. Patton. Decent quote. Maybe not very meaningful, not deep, but, well, just a quote. So, we can continue. Okay, yeah, I think that's correct. Petty Kingdom of Munster, 15th of September, 1066. Okay, let's continue. Let's see. Okay. So now we have Dynasty and House. Let's see. Family is important. The player will always come from your dynasty, and most often from your house. Oh my god, I pronounced dynasty. Dynasty. Okay. In the future, it won't hurt to keep an eye on your family and their line of succession. Depending on their succession laws, you might end up inheriting titles along with land and vassals from your relatives. Okay, yeah, that's kinda complex to control everything, unfortunately. Not everyone in your dynasty will be landowners, but every plot of land on the map has an owner. Alright. Sometimes that owner is you, sometimes it's one of your vassals, and sometimes it's another realm entirely, many of whom also have or are vassals. Yeah, well, I've already noticed that. Most titles belong in a pyramid-like hierarchy according to their title tier. So we have barony, ruled by a baron or baroness. Then we have county, ruled by a count or countess. A duchy, ruled by a duke or duchess. Duchies? Kingdom, ruled by a king or a queen. An empire, ruled by an emperor or empress. So yeah, we have empire, then we have a kingdom. I mean, I'm starting from the top to bottom. So empire, kingdom, duchy, county, and barony. It happened in medieval era that there was a kingdom, and then there was a county directly connected to a kingdom, to the king himself. So there was no intermediate level of duchy. I mean, of course, duchies existed around, but there was, like, for example, 1 or 2 counties which were directly connected to the king. Yeah, it happened because in most cases it was like the kingdom divided into duchies, and duchies divided into counties, and counties divided into baronies. But sometimes there were like independent counties or duchies in a way that they were directly connected to the tier one level above the one supposed to be. So a county directly connected to kingdom. It happened. Every title is legally part of a title 1 tier up the chain. For example, each county is thus part of a duchy. Yeah, so if you are a ruler of a county, there is still someone above you, and there is still someone above the guy above you. So note that there are many dynamic names for these titles. Your current ruler is in charge of a petty kingdom, which corresponds to the duchy tier. Yeah, that would be a bit easier if it was called, like, not the Kingdom of Munster, but the Duchy of Munster. Definitely would be easier, for sure. But that's fine. I mean, hopefully we can get through that. I mean, I can get through that. We'll see. Next. What is it? The Euro titles. We say legally because as Crusader Kings 3 lets you play with history, there is no way to guarantee that a king is actually in control of all the titles that his kingdom is supposed to contain within its borders. We call this title hierarchy the Euro, and if the structure has been broken, it is often possible to declare war over errant territories. The Euro. Most titles are considered part of a higher tier title, the Euro, by law. Yeah, so that's something I said, right? Like, you are the duke of a duchy, and there is someone above you. So and that person can control you basically. And that person also has, by law, is the ruler, owner of your land. By that fact, I guess. The holder of a duchy, kingdom, or empire always has a casus belli to seize control of its de jure constituent titles. Oh, okay, so since I'm a duke, let's say, I have a casus belli to seize control of my constituent counties, right? Yeah, it says casus belli to seize control of its de jure constituent titles. Okay. Vassals will also decide who their rightful liege is based on what title their primary title is de jure a part of. Vassals will also decide who their rightful liege is based on what title their primary title is de jure a part of. Alright. Interesting. So, let's say vassal is of the same title as you are. But he can be your vassal still, right? Like you are duke. You are duke and you vassalage another duke. Is it possible though? This is a good question. If it's possible, then that vassal will decide who the rightful liege is based on what title their primary title is that you're a part of. Jesus. A ruler's primary title is the highest ranked title that they identify most closely with, determining their coat of arms and the name of the realm. Oh, if you control multiple titles of the same tier, you can choose which one should be your primary title. Interesting. Okay. What happens when you have the vassal, and somehow that vassal ascends to the throne of, let's say, England? How that's gonna change the connection, the harmony between you, the interaction between you? Is it still going to be your vassal? It's another great question. If you switch to the Duchy titles map mode, you can see that as the ruler of the Duchy of Munster, the County of Desmond should legally be part of your realm. Alright, Duchy titles. Here we have it. Alright, so... So that's a Duchy of Munster. Petty Kingdom of Munster. Then there's a Duchy of Leinster, Meath, Connacht, and Ulster. Yeah, and... once again, if you switch to the Duchy titles map mode, you can see that as the ruler of the Duchy of Munster, the County of Desmond should legally be part of your realm. So also, that Duchy, the County of, how is it called? Desmond? County of Desmond is also legally part of my Duchy. Right? Or no? I think so. This is kind of confusing to me. Okay, return to realms mode. Look at that. There is so many duchies. Yeah. Okay. What does it change though? Like, does it affect the consolidation of land in any way? Like, you have a greater chance that something which is theoretically part of your duchy is that easier to capture it? Either by vassalage or by conquering it. Okay, return to real map mode. I understand. What's next? The Jure title of Munster consists of 4 counties. The Jure title. Once again, most titles are considered part of a higher tier title, the Jure by law. For example, the ruler may be King of England, but the realm does not yet contain all the lands that are legally considered to be part of England. Okay, once again. For example, a ruler may be King of England, but the realm does not yet contain all the lands that are legally considered to be part of England. Okay, so that's the same situation here, right? I'm the ruler of Munster right now, but all not parts of it belong to me by any means, like vassalage or conquering it. So once again, the holder of a duchy, kingdom, or empire always has a casus belli to seize control of its de jure constituent titles. So I technically should have a casus belli on that earldom of Desmond, right? Vassals will also decide who the rightful liege is based on what title their primary title is de jure part of. Oh, let's see. De jure hierarchy. Yeah, Petty Kingdom of Munster, Kingdom of Ireland, and Empire of Britannia. There is something like Empire of Britannia? Oh, can you form it? Empire of Britannia? How cool it is. But yeah, technically it makes sense. Okay. I don't know how that's gonna affect dynamic of the game and the situation evolving. Okay. So the Euro title of Munster consists of 4 counties. Their names should be visible on the map. Thomond, which is here. Ennis, held by you. It's that. I mean, Thomond and Ennis. So they both belong to me. And they are marked in blue, I guess. Desmond, held by a neighboring ruler. And Ormond, held by your vassal. Desmond is here, yeah. And Ormond, held by my vassal, which is here. These counties are made up of smaller pieces of land, baronies, the individual holdings of a realm. Holdings represent settlements in your land. Okay, that's a holding, right? Plains, city of Clonmel. Oh, and here we can build, construct new building. We have temple as well. What's here? There's a city. Yeah, and we can expand it. And there is a castle. Vedrafjord. Alright, let's close it. Next. Holdings provide different levels of taxes and levies, as well as buildings that you can construct and upgrade depending on the holding type. Alright, there are 4 types of holdings: castles, cities, tribes, and temples. Each type allows different types of buildings. A ruler's government form determines which types of holding the ruler can personally own without penalty. The ruler's government form. Okay. In the case of temples, the doctrines of their faith may also play a role. Right? We suggest you start by upgrading the bastions and curtain walls. Click on your capital holding, Luimnech or Luimnich. Select bastions and curtain walls among its buildings and upgrade the structure. Alright, I will do it. That's a castle. Makes sense. Small harbor, lookout towers, height tents, and bastions and curtain walls. And we can upgrade it even to the 8th level. Jesus. Construct Bailey. The Bailey is the most defensible place in which to store critical supplies to survive a siege, weapons, armor, and pickled boar's heads. Pickled boar's heads. What? Doesn't sound tasty. Okay, and the cost is 150. That's a total cost, right? Gonna take 3 years. And because of the Irish, the time is decreased by minus 10%. A 4th level plus 2. There's also a bonus of tax for unknown reason. Danger minus 2. Stationed heavy cavalry damage plus 12%. Stationed heavy cavalry toughness. Interesting that the walls and towers affect heavy cavalry. And garrison increased by 300. And also supply limit. But that applies to the whole county. Right, I'm gonna upgrade it. That's because tutorial forces me to do so. Well done, it will take some time for the building to be ready though. Luimnich wasn't built in a day. Feel free to close the walls and towers construction window. Once your construction is completed, you will receive the benefits of the building or upgrade you choose. Boom. Every holding provides taxes to their holder. If that holder is a vassal, they will in turn pay taxes to their liege. Taxes are your main source of gold income, of course. What about minting though? Obligations can affect how high or low these taxes are. Being at war can affect the level of control in the county, which in turn affects taxes, of course. Money is the biggest problem. Now, vassals. As a ruler, you are likely to be the liege of at least one vassal. These are rulers who have sworn fealty to you and are tasked part of your realm. Vassals supply you with gold, taxes, and soldiers' levies. Okay, now my main question is, so only levies? Or they can actually provide me regular forces to the trained soldiers? Good question. It is possible to both be a liege and a vassal at once. Oh, yeah, of course. Well, we can have a vassal well, we can be a liege to someone, right? So we have vassals under our rule, and we can also be a vassal of someone else. So, like for example, we can be vassal of the King of England, but we can have a vassal here in Earldom of Desmond. I guess so. To continue, open the realm view on the right side of the screen. Boom. Inspect the vassals tab. Boom. Here's a list of your current vassals, along with some additional information about them. At the top of the list is the ruler of Ormond, whose land you can see on the map. This is an earldom, a county tier title inside your realm. That's a county. And that's a duchy. Alright. And that would be a kingdom of Ireland, sorry. Okay, so... yeah, there is a guy... Sigtrygurson of Ormond. Powerful vassal, what does it mean? Powerful vassals are the handful of vassals with the most soldiers and highest income. You need to pay careful attention to these vassals because they expect to hold a seat on your council and will have significantly lower opinion of you if they do not. Alright, changing succession law requires all powerful vassals to either have a positive opinion of you, be terrified by you, or be imprisoned. Cool. Come here for an overview of things such as your vassal's current opinion of you, whether they are considered a powerful vassal or not, and the levels of taxes and levies they are currently providing you with. Realm size 1, that's of course, okay, here we have those, well, attributes, or skills, let's call them. Minority vassals feel that their faith or culture is marginalized by their liege. Alright, expected legitimacy 1, whatever it means. This vassal has no directive. Give vassal directive. Okay. And feudal, modify vassal contract. Renegotiate heir blah 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 obligations to you. Feudal. Under the feudal government form, a liege gives their vassals land to govern in exchange for levies and taxes. Regulated by individual vassal contract between vassal and liege. And vassal opinion plus 11. Vassal limit is 20. Can we increase that though? Dread 0 and vassal stance. Nothing here. His opinion about me minus 14 for some reason. It's not great. Your chancellor, vassal and knight. Bold antagonist and mark located in Normand. Catholic Norwegian. House Vedra Fjord. Okay, so there's a lot of information. Let's go next. It's worthwhile keeping your vassals happy. This keeps them out of schemes and factions against you. That's correct, yeah. I guess a faction is a group of vassals with common political interests. Jesus. The local population of counties can also join certain types of factions, such as the peasant faction. Factions become dangerous once their discontent reaches a certain point, at which time they will issue an ultimatum. If the liege does not comply, the faction will rise up in a revolt, sparking a civil war. Okay, yeah, well, this is... I believe this is very crucial in that game, to control your vassals, to check that tab quite often. No matter how mighty a ruler your character is, if your realm unites against you, either to depose you through war or just to murder you while you sleep, your reign is bound to be cut short. Some of your vassals might serve on your council, making their opinion extra important, as they will be trusted with councilor tasks. Alright. There is a limit to how many vassals you can comfortably be in charge of before your realm becomes unwieldy. Going beyond this vassal limit affects taxes and levies provided to you. This doesn't matter for the tutorial, but when you start to build your own kingdom, be mindful of growing too fast. Okay, but I believe that we can actually increase that limit. If you end up exceeding your vassal limit, you can grant lower tier titles to your vassals. You can grant lower tier titles to vassals. Okay. Sometimes you can even create new high tier titles to consolidate your power in a region and strengthen your hold over the lower titles de jure subservient to your new title. Jesus, there is another mechanic. My god. No chance I can remember all of that. Okay, what's next? Realm and domain. Your realm is the complete body of land and titles that you control, including the areas held by your vassals. Right now for you, this means the counties, called earldoms due to your Irish culture, or of Ennis, Thomond, and Normand. When domain is used, we're instead referring to the land that you own personally, without vassals, Ennis and Thomond. Okay, so that's my domain. I think that domain is marked on blue. I mean, the names of the towns, cities, they are marked on blue. Yeah, that would be correct because Ormond, which is my vassal, it's not marked as my domain. Some things that happen will only affect your domain, Ennis and Thomond, while other things will impact your entire realm, the duchy or petty kingdom of Munster. Next, know that there is a limit to how much land you can hold personally before you start incurring penalties. The domain limit. Where I can find it though? When you go above your domain limit, it can be a good idea to use the grant title interaction on characters you are friendly with, making them your vassals. Okay. As you have no spur titles to give away, you cannot currently do this, but you would otherwise find it in the character menu. Visible when right-clicking on the character. Oop. Okay, arrange marriage, find spouse, educate child. What? Click to open barber shop? For real? No, I'm not gonna change anything of that. I understand. And here we go. There's a council now. Managing a realm is a lot of work. As a ruler, you have the help of your council. These can be either vassals or members of your court, and they act as your trusted advisors. There's a council position corresponding to each skill, and married rulers will also have their spouse assisting them. Alright, so that works the same way as my ruler. So he has the support of the spouse, of course. What is it? Stress level. For real? There's so many things. What's the inventory, by the way? Oh my god. Alright, yeah, that's the RPG game. Council. Councillors can be set to work and they all do different things. You can change a councillor task by clicking on the button near their portrait in the council view. Alright, religious relations, fabricate claim on county. My court chaplain, Bishop Stigand of Munster, is assigned to religious relations. Convert faith in county. Okay. And your realm priest endorses you. Okay. His opinion of me is +1 or greater. You gain levies and taxes from his church holdings. Councillors can be set to work and they all do different things. You can change a council task by clicking on the button near the report in the council view. Being a councillor is a prestigious position. Powerful vassals expect to be appointed and will be unhappy if left out. Is that guy from Ormond? Yeah, he is my he is in my council currently. So why you are unhappy though? Ceremonies -10, short reign -9, and cultural acceptance -26. Foreign affairs and domestic affairs. Okay. Train commanders, organize army. And that's a spy master, chancellor, duchess or duchess, bishop. Of course, you can change everyone. What's that? Cannot fire chancellor. Catholicism does not have revocable clerical appointment doctrine. Without such a doctrine, there is always a court chaplain or realm priest. Cannot assign a new chancellor. Catholicism does not have the temporal, revocable, or spiritual recoverable clerical appointment doctrines. Jesus, okay. I understand. What's next? Schemes. Schemes are long-term goals aimed at another character. They can have hostile goals, like trying to murder or abduct your target, or be more wholesome, such as the befriend scheme. Open the intrigue view. Okay, click. Inspect the schemes tab. It should be opened by default. I see it. Hostile schemes, no hostile scheme in progress. Personal schemes and discovered secret schemes. That's on me, right? Or no? Or on anybody? And countermeasure focuses. Bounties for whispers. Arbitrary RS. Strengthen sentries. Redouble guards. Withdraw from view. No countermeasure focus. Alright, there's a lot of options available. A good time to use the scheme might be when you find the line of succession not be as clear-cut and favorable as you would like. One way to get ahead is to simply remove the competition. How easy is that? Quietly and with no witnesses. A murder attempt comes with a risk of discovery. If your attempt goes awry, it will make your character unpopular, especially with your intended target. Jesus. The way scheme is made for increasing the opinion someone has of your character, that's right. The sway scheme is made for increasing the opinion someone has of your character. Let's try it. Open the council view. Right click on your court chaplain, your bishop, and choose sway scheme. Okay. Right click, sorry. Attempt to sway Stigand of Canterbury, improving his opinion. Why? I would prefer to improve his opinion. Not you. You are just fine. Plus 11. Okay, I'm gonna follow the tutorial though. Yeah, phase length 10 months. Predicted difficulty very easy. I can only start one? I believe so. Excellent. Once set in motion, your scheme will slowly progress over time. The time before a conclusion is reached varies based on the scheme's success chance, which can be affected by relevant skills. In this case, it is affected by your diplomacy. If you are unhappy with your scheme, you can always cancel it by clicking the Abandon Scheme button next to the scheme. To continue, open the Intrigue view. Inspect the schemes tab, it should be opened by default. Boom. 68% success chance. It doesn't sound like very easy. I would say very easy would be over 80%. Oh, but okay. At least it's nice and clear. There are also secrets. What is it? Sometimes schemes can give rise to secrets. If you catch someone trying to commit murder, it's probably in their best interest to make sure you keep it quiet. You can also blackmail them to gain a hook. Hook represents a favor you can call in or a hold you have over a particular character. Is it that something similar to obligations in Victoria 3 then? Letting you encourage or force them to do your bidding. As you play, you will find many different ways to gain and use hooks. Experiment with them. Alright. You have no hooks. Hooks you hold. Secrets known to me. Hooks on you. Oh well, yeah, that's a problem. But it's cool. I mean, I like how deep that system is, or at least it looks like deep. Well, looks like deep. Looks like that. I mean, seems to be deep, right? Whether it is or not, it depends. Sometimes some things seems to be really complex and interesting, and when you start using them, you realize that they are, well, more flat than you expected. Or sometimes they are not very useful, unfortunately. Okay, next. You have gained a favor hook on Earl Rugnvald 2. I think this was given me by the game, right? This weak hook can be used for a number of things. For example, you can increase the obligations set by the vassal. Wait a second, have I read that? Yeah, okay. This weak hook can be used for a number of things. For example, you can increase the obligations set by the vassal contract you have with a feudal vassal. Alright. So I can increase the obligations, so they need to pay more money, and they need to provide more levies if I increase that. To access the menu for changing your vassal contract, go to your vassal list in the realm view, or right click his portrait to choose modify vassal contract. You may notice that some interactions are not immediately visible. When you have many interactions available, the character interaction menu only displays the most common ones. To display missing interactions, click the More button in the category. What kind of hook I have? Fortunately, it doesn't say what kind of hook. It just says that I have a hook. Okay. I can, for example, click here, modify vassal contract. Because I have a hook available, okay. But it doesn't say what kind of hook, just the hook. So there's no real context to it. Modify vassal contract. Understand. Is it going to... Okay, it's not going to really force me into using that hook. War is an essential part of Crusader Kings 3. There are many concepts to cover, but for now let's touch briefly on some of them. Cool. I love that they underline the fact that war is an essential part of that game, which means that I may expect a lot of wars, a lot of warfare, a lot of fighting, which is cool. This is my main focus in such games. Like, I mean, I like it. I like the new systems. I like that I can do that. I like that I can be punished for wrong plans, wrong ideas, for being too bold or being too weak. This is cool. I really like that. And especially that's the medieval era. This is really awesome. Of course, I guess that it might be true, but I haven't tried that in Imperator Rome and then in Europa Universalis 5 as well. Those are going to be the best warfare systems in grand strategy games from Paradox, I guess. Might be true because you have that idea of regiments, you have the idea of flanks, reserves, and you can modify that by your own. So that gives you some control over it. In Victoria 3, it's of course limited. I don't know how it looks like here in Crusader Kings. I have no idea. I haven't watched probably anything from Crusader Kings 3 on YouTube, so really don't know how to command your troops, how to assemble them, and all that stuff. It might be similar to Europa Universalis 4 in some way, but we'll find out. Either way, I will leave it for another episode because that's really interesting part of that game for me. I have 32 minutes on my timer as well, so it's the right moment to finish the episode. So let's finish it with recalling the quote from the beginning. So let me open the notepad. Okay, here it is. So I want to fight a champ. If you lose, you've lost the champ and it's no disgrace. If you win, you are the new champ. George S. Patton. And with that being said, once again thank you, and see you next time in medieval Europe. Goodbye. Well, I really thought about what to say at the end. Sorry. So yeah, once again thank you and goodbye.